This is Tuesday Tips for August the 4th, 2026, here on Following Him, the Disciple Life. Tip: approach your role at the local congregation like four-part harmony. Now, what am I talking about?
What are you talking about?
We have the principles of 1 Corinthians 12 talking about the members in the body and the different roles they play. And yes, I know that there's a miraculous context there, clearly miraculous gifts in view, but there's some principles to consider. And Paul in verse 20, going through verse 21, he states, "Now indeed there are many members, yet one body, and the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you." In a literal body, the different parts, they're not the same, but they each have a function. The same in the local body of the church, in a congregation. The different roles, they each play their part. So here's a consideration, though. What role, what part will you play? One of the ways to consider it is from the standpoint of four-part harmony. Now, if you have no clue what goes in a four-part harmony, I might lose you a little bit on this, but you probably can at least distinguish soprano from bass, right? Okay, most people can distinguish that soprano, the higher female part, and the low male part, right? Okay. When I sing at church, I have the ability to sing both tenor and bass. And so when I'm singing in the congregation, what I do is I sing the part that's needed. If I'm somewhere where there's a lot of men, and particularly a lot of preachers, because a lot of preachers do have loud voices, there's probably a lot of bass singing going on. So you know what I do? I sing tenor. When there's a whole bunch of basses going on, my bass voice is not needed as much. But the tenor, in fact, oftentimes the tenor is going to be lacking. Not as many men will sing tenor as do bass. But if there's not a lot of basses, or at least not a lot of loud basses, sometimes people don't sing out as much. They're maybe a little bit shy about singing that sort of thing. They do sing, but maybe not very loud. Oftentimes I'll sing bass, and that is what I often find myself singing. It is the bass part, because it's what's needed. And what's my point here? Is it about my singing? Absolutely not. It's about looking, listening, finding what's needed, or at least needed the most, and do that. Find what's needed and do that. There are times, there are some songs where I actually really like singing a particular tenor part, but I know that the bass part is needed. In fact, when the bass is not there in four-part singing, you can often tell it. And so I'll sing the bass part. Even if I would really like to sing the tenor part, but I know the bass is needed, I'll sing the bass part. So consider what's needed, not what's going to lift you up, not what's going to, be the most fun for you or the most enjoyable. This isn't about you. It's about Christ and his work. Find what's needed and do that. You have a good rest of the day, and shalom.